So when we first started this podcast out, where were we?
We had littles, middles, and bigs. That's
Mhm.
what we call them.
Yeah.
They're all hitting bigs.
Mhm. And what made us move into the house again?
Oh, well, it was something that we kind of prayed about and talked about. We are best friends, so we are not blood related.
No.
We are best friends who share the common beliefs, morals, and we all had same goals in life.
And we were still kind of homeschooling.
Mm-hmm.
Still home, yeah.
Yeah, we're still homeschooling.
But it started out homeschooling was what connected us.
Yes.
Finally connected us because we were connected through like ballet. Like,
yes.
It's funny to go back and see all the things that connected us in passing.
Yes.
But it was homeschooling that finally got us to like really talk to each other and go deeper.
Yep.
But we had kind of seen each other in passing for years.
Yes. We almost bought a house next door to them. Almost.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So it was, God orchestrated.
Yes.
Yes, I think so. So, and in past episodes that you can still go back and listen to, we've got all the episodes there. I don't know how many we have, but we would talk on the podcast more so that anybody could listen to the podcast. It wasn't really faith. Like, I mean, well, we are Christ followers and believers, so there's faith in it, but we spoke very generally so that anybody could listen to. We were sharing our testimony on what it was like to buy the house together. And so, 2025 and going forward, we will be speaking more about our faith and sharing the journey and bringing you all along the journey of like showing and speaking more about how God has taken and is taking our finances and blessing situations that we're like, I don't know how we would have got through.
Yes. So look, let's just lay it on the line.
Yeah.
Let's just lay it on the line. We were two families who were both operating or functioning out of single family income. So our husbands are our breadwinners. They were our providers for our homes. And what really locked us in together. And so we came together, and we shared this in our past podcast, how we took what we had and brought it together, and we would just break bread together, right? And so, if I had the rice, she had the beans, and we would just bring our meals together, and that's how we kind of grew together.
Yeah.
And so us journeying into buying a house was a step further of how we would bring what we had together, and that God would bless it and
multiply.
Yeah, he did. And he did, y'all. He did.
And does.
And continued to do, right?
Absolutely.
And so, that's what we want to share with you guys. We are excited to share with you all just how God has blessed our coming together. And we are literally two families that came together under one roof. And so God is our anchor. God is our center. And so doesn't matter what I have or what she has. When we bring it together under God, God takes it and he has blessed it and multiplied it in ways that we are excited to share with you all.
Yeah, pretty much. And, going back to the poverty level, we feel like there's a lot of people out there who identify with it because, it's like coming from, having kids at a certain age. For us, it was younger. And your husband is working. So maybe before that you were getting assistance from the government, food stamps, whatever we call bridge card or whatever it's called where you are, EBT, and maybe some other things, maybe medical, but then you don't qualify anymore. And you're like, well, my income hasn't changed.
Right.
Like, so what do you mean? Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us, 6 of us, 7 of y'all.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean I don't qualify anymore? And so we were finding ourselves always at that point where it was like, okay, what do we do? Because they're saying we don't qualify, but we're making less. So how do we not qualify for food assistance? I'll say that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because, again, when she was saying the beans and the meals and stuff, the rice and beans and all these things that we were making. One, we were trying to lose weight.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
always,
And we still are.
and still are. This weight is happy weight right here.
Yes.
But we were trying to stay healthy. We were raising kids and are raising kids. That is a continuous journey for most people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I feed my children this to fill them, I'm also trying to feed myself, like, on, a certain level.
Yeah.
And groceries are continuously climbing.
Ooh,
and my husband's paycheck is not going up. And if it did go up, taxes came and took the little bit that we thought, so he got $1 raise, and so did the government.
The government, yep, absolutely, yep.
And so we're like, how do we not qualify? And so, yeah, I feel like that's a lot of people's story, because again, like, you are looking like on paper, because that's the way they say, like, on paper, like, before tax, we should have maybe been able to at least be living better than what we could.
Mm-hmm.
But then by the time taxes came out, and
health insurance
and all this other stuff, but then by the time you go to the grocery store, if you make it to the grocery store, actually,
because you got to put gas in the vehicle.
You got to put gas in the car so he can get to work, and he want to eat while he at work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, he can pack a lunch, and also sometimes people say, "Hey, bro, you want to go out or whatever." So, yes, we kept finding ourselves in that situation, and I can tell you, it's a very humbling situation, especially when you're talking about having friends.
Yeah.
When people are saying, "Yes, do you want to go somewhere?" and you're like, "Oh,
yeah, the way my coins look."
Yes, I want to go.
Yes.
But how?
Yeah.
How am I going to do that?
Yeah.
And I've got these kids to feed.
Yes.
And not one, not two, not three, 4 and 5.
9.
Yes. And so it's like, God is saying that children are a blessing.
Yeah.
And I feel like there is a lot of people, I'll speak for myself, who feel like, how do I provide for this blessing? Like, what am I doing? And I often hear people say, "You gonna keep having kids?" And there's a debate of, like, whether to have a kid or to abort it. Can we afford it? Like, there's a lot of people in those situations, or they looking at you like, "How you got all those kids and you ain't got no money?"
Yes.
And so, yeah, we just all in together. All of these things are how we connected on, like, we know that God said these children are a blessing. We know that a family is a blessing.
Yeah.
We don't own a farm.
No.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. We don't know what the future may bring.
Yeah.
So we didn't have, crops to sell or anything like that.
Yeah.
We were just thugging it out, figuring it out day by day.
Yeah. Yeah. And what we were doing individually showed up as we came together. Mm-hmm. And so individually we were each like praying, like asking God, how can you take our little and make it much? We was getting them shut off notices, and we were getting those like, y'all, it's ramen, ramen, whatever, whatever was on our table, we were thankful, and our families were fed, but it was hard. It was hard. And so our coming together, I feel like God was saying yes, because we prayed about it 1st. It wasn't something that we just was like, we gonna move in together.
Right, exactly.
No, we had to pray about that thing.
Yeah. And again, if you go back to listen to old episodes, you'll see there was a lot of conversation. It wasn't just let's move in together. Like,
come around our children. And that's what God has allowed us to build for our children. And it started with just us, but we have a bigger village. Oh yeah, we have a bigger village. We have a lot of okay, I don't want to say a lot, like it's not like that, but we have quite a few other families. Oh yeah, that we do community with. They are their aunties and uncles. Yes. Right?
Yep, both close and extended.
Yeah. And so that village, you really need that, because as parents, you are trying to give your children your very best, and sometimes it misses the mark. And it helps to have somebody say, okay, I see you, I see them.
Yeah.
Let me just come around you in this way. Let me help you in this way. And know that they're not digging a dagger.
Come on, because I was about to say. Because people will do that. They will say, oh, let me save your children from you.
Yes.
Or they are well-meaning and they see, oh, your child is crying and, tell me what's wrong. And then they're like, oh, your parents shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
And the Bible says if you have an ought with your brother, you go to them.
Yeah.
And so for us, the proper response is to hear them, yes, and say, okay, maybe I don't know everything about your family and what goes on behind closed doors, but with you, I would like to sit down with you and your parent to see how we can work this out.
Yeah.
Whether it be you taking a break and come staying with me for a little bit, but let's get that clear, get everybody on the same page so that we can work through this.
Right. Oh, you guys got to get ready. Get ready.
I know.
But just all of the big things, and we're excited to dive into 2025, but we are diving into it with the Father. We have laid it before him. He has given us insight and words of encouragement and scriptures to anchor us for this year, but we're excited. Those are just the things that we know. We don't even know what all God has in store for us.
Yes, I know. So we do something that we always do is at the beginning of each year, we sit down. We started this years ago.
Yeah.
We would sit down at a restaurant and we would write out what it was that we felt like the Lord was telling us. Because after he said, get on the ark, we had to go process that. We went and sat down and we were like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And that was a year of crazy faith.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, what does that mean? So we sat down and we wrote it all out. And we had to sort out through like things that we had on our plate to say like, what are we doing here? What are we doing there? And all that. And so we have been doing that for years. This year in 2025, we invited our adult children.
Yes. Bless you.
Excuse me. We invited our adult children to the table.
Yes.
I wish we would have recorded it, but it was actually, we had so much to talk about.
We did.
We didn't have time for cameras. Well, I guess they could have recorded it because, they got to watch us. But that was a time to say, like, all right, y'all are 22, 21, 21. It's time for y'all to come to the table and have these discussions because we're still praying for land.
Yes.
Now more than before because, 21, 22, and 23 almost.
Yeah. They're all getting older.
They're getting older and they need space.
Yes.
They need more space. And, this is a good start.
Yes. It was a good setup. God knew it.
Yes. And it got us closer.
Yeah.
And we really got to know each other deeper. And as we grew, continue to know each other. But we want to build some tiny houses.
Yes.
Or have some modular situations. We don't know. We're open
to whatever the Lord says.
See, we already know. So that was exciting to have them come to the table. But so they have had, we definitely, by example, we expect them to do, to duplicate what we're doing in some form or fashion because, again, we're showing them. And this is what we have right now. We don't have finances. We are the first generation of not people who didn't try. Our parents tried hard.
Our parents
they're still working.
Yes.
Well, no, they're retired.
No.
My mom is still working.
Yeah, mine is
retired.
My stepdad is still working.
Okay. Yeah. So some of them are still working. Some of them are still retired. But generational wealth, isn't something. We didn't come from homeschool families.
No.
We didn't come from. No, we didn't come from.
No.
We came from working class, get it done, parents.
Yeah.
And they tried their best.
Yeah.
And so we're building from where they gave us, and we're, passing on to church to them. And so our kids, we're expecting them to
go even further
than us. And so we're building a solid foundation with the Lord, who is our Savior. And so, so that is pretty much our 2025, our Happy New Year opening podcast, season 4. We'll have appearances from everybody.
Yeah, we've got to get everybody on here so y'all can meet them. Y'all have met them in past podcasts, but they're older now.
They are older now.
Everybody's older now. So.
And you'll be able to see their faces. Because in the past podcast, if you go back and listen, it's all audio. So, which their voices probably won't even
are different. Yes.
So
especially all our
boys.
Yes.
Jazzy just had a birthday, and so we have videos on our Facebook. If you don't follow us on Facebook, you can. It's a page. You can like our page, Two Families, One House. Also on Instagram, Two Families, One House. The video is on there too. Of her turning 21 in December.
Yes.
And then we got YouTube. We have a YouTube page, same Two Families, One House on YouTube. Try to keep it consistent.
Yes. So there's no confusion.
No confusion. We've got a half-built website. We gotta go find it. We built it out the gate, and I don't remember.
We're working on it. We're a work in progress, y'all.
Yeah. Yes. So, that is us. Oh, and then the husbands, like not least, and
no, certainly not last.
Now they will be here once we figure this out. We had to get this audio video figured out, right? Because we want to present it to them well. We want them to look good when they come on camera, okay? And when we invite them back on. So if you want to hear from them, go back to our old episodes and hear from them, or follow us on our social media and you can see them and you can hear them. We just did the Christmas shopping. And the dads recorded a couple pieces, which was funny.
Yes. They did a good job, though.
They did do a good job. It was good because they was into it.
Yes.
And it was their own recording.
Yes.
We wasn't standing on the other side saying 1, 2, 3, go.
Absolutely. It was them and themselves. Yep, they got it.
Yep. And so that was fun to see. So, any final thoughts?
No, I just can't wait for y'all to meet the whole family. Yeah. We're a pretty funny, cool bunch.
Yes.
Y'all will see.
Yes, you will see. Invite someone to listen. Well, we're a homeschool family. Okay. And so there's always homework. And so this week's homework is to invite someone. Invite someone to our podcast, to like our pages. You do so as well. Go like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, and YouTube. Yeah, subscribe on YouTube. Yeah, you're right. And then invite someone to listen to our podcast. And
we'd love to hear from you all. Hopefully sooner than later.
I know. I think if this works how I think it's gonna work, I think we may have a group.
Okay.
All right. So help us get to 1,000 subscribers or listeners or something. I don't know.
Yeah. However that works.
However it
y'all
works.
know how it works. So.
Yeah. But our plan is just to put it out there because that's what God is asking us to do.
That's it.
We're not trying to go viral or anything. We're just trying to share the love of the Lord, our hearts, our testimony, and our journey with those who feel and need it.
Yeah.
So
and we know it's more than just us. We know there's more than just us, and if we could connect with you, that would be great.
Sweet. All right. Well, as always, thanks for stopping by the house.
Bye.
Bye.